सत्वं विशुद्धं वसुदेव शब्दितं यदीयते तत्र पुमानपावृतः सत्वे च तस्मिन् भगवान् वासुदेवो ह्यदोक्षजो मे नमसा विधीयते.
Namaste. The last 3 episodes we have been enjoying Sri Krishna as Vasudeva. The term Vasudeva gives us so much information, so much knowledge and so much bliss that we can keep dwelling on this Tirunama alone for many more episodes. But having said that, the 4th episode, probably the concluding episode on the name Vasudeva, will be this. And we are going to see some very interesting perspectives and Puranas in which Vasudeva is being used. As we saw, Bhishma Pitamaha in a bed of arrows is talking about Vasudeva. After composing and sharing this with the Pandavas on Vishnu Sahasranama, he says all these namas will address Sri Krishna as Vasudeva. So that is what he is establishing in his Palastuti. In the Palastuti of Vishnu Sahasranama, we will enjoy many things about Vasudeva at a later point of time. And an interesting fact in Srimad Bhagavata Purana, which is thanks to Sri Purushottama Das who highlighted this, and a special namaskara to Sri Purushottama Das because it gave a very different perspective and an amazing anubhavam on Vasudeva. In 4th Skanda, 3rd chapter, it is a conversation fully between Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi. And in the specific 23rd sloka is what we are going to look. What happens in the conversation is, Daksha Prajapati, Parvati Devi's father, is conducting a major yajna for which there is no formal invitation to Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi. Parvati Devi wants to attend because it's her father's yajna. But Lord Shiva says we can't go uninvited and there has to be a process. We all know because of some difference of opinion, Daksha Prajapati and Lord Shiva are not seeing eye to eye, and because of that Lord Shiva is not invited. At this stage in the conversation specific to 23rd sloka in the 3rd chapter, we are saying that Lord Shiva says, Vasudeva is in my mind as the Sattva Guna. He is everything in my mind. And I keep worshipping, dwelling Vasudeva in my mind all the time. In this context, I don't have to look at and worship somebody else, even if he is my father-in-law. And that is very interesting to see. Lord Shiva also uses the term Vasudeva here. So that is the interesting aspect in the Srimad Bhagavad Purana that we are learning from here. So we are seeing Treta Yuga, we are seeing earlier yugas in which Vasudeva is being discussed. In Kali Yuga too, obviously, Vasudeva is established everywhere. We had many foreigners who came to India in the pursuit of knowledge, in the pursuit of wealth. Some in a traditional manner of knowledge acquisition, some in a very aggressive manner of invasion. India has faced a lot of things. Bharata Desham itself provides a lot of wealth, both material and spiritual wealth in terms of knowledge. So there are a set of Greeks who had come to India in pursuit of knowledge. There was a Greek ambassador called Heliodorus who had visited India and approached various gurus to learn the religion, learn the Itihasa Puranas, learn the culture and practices. He was so immersed and so impressed with the knowledge, he kind of became a total devotee. We all know every temple will have a Dvajastambha, particularly if you worship South Indian temples, you will have a flag mast, otherwise called Dvajastambha, in which we prostrate and pay our respects in the temple. And every Dvajastambha will have a flag at the end. So one such time when Heliodorus was here, had a temple with a Dvajastambha with a Garuda in it. So it was called the Garuda Stambha. He has mentioned, his inscriptions can be found in the Garuda Stambha. The inscriptions you can see it on the screen right now, which means I submit at this Garuda Stambha to the Lord of Lords Vasudeva. Even the Greek ambassador Heliodorus uses the term Vasudeva here. So that is the interesting aspect. As you keep looking and researching on the name Vasudeva, you get very deep meanings, where you get very different perspectives, and we also see even as totally alien people to Sanatana Dharma, when they worship Sri Krishna, they worship him as Vasudeva. So it is an amazing Tirunamam that we always need to enjoy and worship all the time. That we saw again in Sahasranama. There are Palastuti, we said, will now walk you through the Palastuti, where at least in 4 times Vasudeva is mentioned. As you know, Palastuti means the result for reciting Sahasranama. anything you recite, there is always will be a Palastuti. The ideal thing is to recite for enjoying Sri Krishna, but we are all in material world, we have our own needs, so you can also recite Vishnu Sahasranama for some benefits. So that is what in Palastuti we are told. So in that Palastuti too, Vasudeva appears 4 times, because we all know it is Vasudeva who is supreme. Srimad Bhagavata Purana, we all know it's a must read, must learn Purana that we should all learn, spend effort to understand and imbibe it. In Srimad Bhagavata Purana, in the very first chapter, it establishes why we should worship Vasudeva. It says, Vasudeva para Veda, Vasudeva paramaka, Vasudeva para yoga, Vasudeva para kriya, Vasudeva para jnanam, Vasudeva para tapaha, Vasudeva paro dharmo, Vasudeva para gatihi. What it means is Vasudeva para Veda. When you learn Vedas, it is all about Vasudeva. Vasudeva paramaka. All the doctrines that we learn, that we follow is all about Vasudeva, all to reach Vasudeva. Vasudeva para yoga. The yoga that we do is thinking about Vasudeva. Vasudeva kriya, Vasudeva para kriya. So all the yaga yajnas we do, the fruits of it will be received by Vasudeva. Vasudeva para jnanam. The most important jnanam, the knowledge that we need is about Vasudeva. Vasudeva paro tapaha. The tapas that we do, it will all be fulfilled only by Vasudeva. Vasudeva paro dharma. What is the eternal dharma? Is Vasudeva. That is what, when Pandavas go request Bhishma Pitamaha to teach dharma, he gives Vishnu Sahasranama and says, Etat sarvam Vasudeva. So it is established in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in Srimad Bhagavatam, and again in Sri Vishnu Sahasranamam, again established saying dharmam, paro dharma is Vasudeva, and Vasudeva paragatihi. He is our only refuge. He is the only person whom we need to surrender is Vasudeva. Knowing fully this, let us always enjoy and surrender and be in the company of Sri Vasudeva. Namaste.
Madhava Achyuta Krishna Hare Rishikesha Kesava Govinda Vasudeva Bhagavan Janardana